Hi, this is Alken, and welcome back to my channel. We just got an interesting story about Zohran Mamdani, and he tried to do something to Charlie Kirk while he was in New York City. Yes, I said Zohran Mamdani and Charlie Kirk. I couldn't believe this. It's from the Millennium. This is what it says. American News. Socialist Zohran Mamdani tried to cancel Charlie Kirk's New York City event over lies about transphobia and bigotry. So, this fella here he's a very nice guy, and this nice guy over here, Zohran Mamdani, tried to screw over Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA an event in Queens. So now you know who Zohran Mamdani is and why I call him McDummy. Okay, this is what it is. New York City socialists or communists mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani is facing renewed criticism after it was revealed that he had once signed a letter labeling Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated last week, as an extremist while attempting to block him from speaking in Queens, Mamdani District as Assemblyman. In June 2023, Mamdani and several other local Democrats issued a press release condemning Motif Studios, MOTIF, I'm sorry if I can't pronounce these names, for agreeing to host Turning Point USA and Bleak Exit event at the Tammany House on Long Island City, according to Fox News. The letter accused Kirk, along with Candace Owens, they always have to drag her along, I don't know why, and other invited guests of promoting transphobia, bigotry views. As elected officials representing Western Queens, we are deeply disappointed by the decisions by Motu Studios to host an event by the far-right extremist group Exit and Turning Point USA at their XXX LIC Tammany House Avenue or venue in Long Island City. The statement reads, providing a platform for the kind of transphobia, bigotry views held by invited speakers, Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, yes, they said Charlie Kirk, and others go directly against the diversity and inclusion that we hold dear as New Yorkers, and it's an insult to every member of our community, which is full of crap. The group urges Motu Studio to follow the lead of another venue that had canceled the event after community pressure. Yeah, right. Hate has no home in Queens, New York City, or anywhere else, and certainly not here in Long Island City, the letter added. The event ultimately went forward, with Kirk later posting a video of actors being escorted out after trying to disrupt the proceedings. Wonder if Zohran Mamdani was one of these folks. So GOP Assemblyman Jake Bloomscrane told Fox News that Kirk's assassination highlights the dangers of political suppression. We cannot ignore that my colleagues, Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani and his radical DSA allies, that's a socialist group, once tried to silence Charlie Kirk in New York City, pressuring venues to cancel his event. So he did cancel one of them, but he didn't cancel the other one. Bloomscrane says the mindset of censorship and public shaming feeds the hostile climate that we see today and correlates the American idea that speech must be met with more speech, not suppression. Bloomscrane argues that Mamdani's records show a double standard on free speech. What's most telling is Mamdani's double standard. The speech he rushes to protect, like Gobo the Infrada, which many view as a call of violence against Jews, tears at American fabric, while the speech he vigorously fights to silence is the kind that keeps our democracy alive. You know, Charlie Kirk is not a bigot. He is not xenophobia. He is not anti-Muslim. He is not anti-gay. It is all bullcrap from these people. These people are dangerous. They're willing to kill. They're willing to silence. They're willing to shut down your bank account. They're willing to do everything they can to shut you up or kill you. And you can't let them do that. He added, New Yorkers must ask themselves what it would mean to have a silencer-in-chief like Zohran Mamdani at City Hall. New York deserves a unifier-in-chief who will defend free expressions and bring people together. Clearly, Zohran Mamdani is not that leader. In other words, Zohran Mamdani is no better than Jimmy Kimmel, folks. That's what he is. Jimmy Kimmel and Zohran Mamdani are just one and the same. Stubborn, hard-headed, dangerous, don't care about the truth, don't care about the facts. They will do everything and anything to shut you down or shut you up or worse. They will do to you what they do to Charlie Kirk. And this man is a danger. This is even worse than I even imagine. Mamdani has since condemned Kirk's killing. Yeah, right. Describing it as a horrible and attribute it to America's broad epidemic of gun violence. Except for one little problem. You wanted to ban AR-15s or automatic assault weapons. The gun that was used in this case that killed Charlie Kirk was a bolt-action rifle, which they were not banning. Repeat, a bolt-action rifle, which the Democrats were not banning under gun control. They were banning AR-15. This was not an AR-15 that killed Charlie Kirk. It's similar to a gun that killed JFK, a bolt-rifle, action rifle. Not the same brand, but the point is it's still a bolt-action rifle. So, speaking to supporters, Mamdani called Kirk, yes, another victim of gun violence in a nation where it should be, Rarity has turned into a plague. Yeah, it's a plague because you want to get rid of legal guns and not going after the guns of the real criminals. But you also want to let criminals out of jail. You don't want them to do any time. This is the problem. As long as you keep criminals out of jail, they're going to continue to find ways to get guns illegally and continue this crime spree that's happening in the city of New York. All your gun control laws is not going to be effective if people are illegally getting the guns and killing each other, killing innocent civilians over and over again. I mean, it's like what's happening in Chicago. It's not legal gun owners shooting each other. It's teens with illegal guns are shooting each other and taking out people with them. In a post on X, Mamdani said he was horrified by the assassination, adding that political violence has no place in our country. But that's not what's happening, isn't it? The killer, even though he was raised in a Republican family, apparently was not a Republican at all. He didn't follow in their footsteps. He went his way. He ended up being liberal. He ended up being indoctrinated. He ended up doing a lot of leftist causes, and he did the same thing that Mamdani says. Oh, he's a threat. That Charlie Kirk is a threat. The only difference is between the gunman and Zohran Mamdani is the gunman killed Charlie Kirk, Zohran tried to silence him without a gun. The suspect in Kirk's killing is a far leftist who was sympathetic to Antifa and trans ideology. I don't know if that was on his X post or not, and I'll be shocked if he did put that in there. I don't know, there's nothing else. No, he didn't put that in. That was the paper saying that. But yes, you remember the killer felt that Charlie Kirk was a threat to his way of life. He was dating another man who was transgendering to a woman and felt threatened by Charlie Kirk. And instead of going into debate like everybody else did on that day, on September 10th at that university, he brought a gun to end Charlie Kirk's life and probably thought he was going to end Turning Point USA. But it backfired. Not only it backfired on the killer, it also backfired on the left. Since then, you got people celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. They're getting fired left and right. You have people leaving the Democratic Party in droves, including me. That's why you see this sign here. You don't see the word Democrat, do you? So, we are Charlie Kirk. And of course, the now infamous Jimmy Kimmel speech that got him canceled. And I can tell you, you look at Jimmy Kimmel, you look at Zohran Mamdani, it's like they're twins. They're both a threat to conservatives, to MAGA, and anybody's Christian, Catholic, because, you know, when he did that speech about Charlie Kirk, and I'm not going to put what he said because some of it's inflammatory, and then he compared Charlie Kirk to a goldfish. Those are his words, not mine. Yeah, sometimes he looks like he's giving out codes to the people who are all the way in the far left, who are unhinged to commit acts of violence. I mean, I think we've seen that when he was talking about the fire bombings at Teslas and the damage to the cars. I think he was spreading message of hate. I know he's gonna say no, it's not, but you know what else we're gonna think, because you did what you did that Monday, and then Zohran Mamdani's doing this shady stuff doesn't help his situation. That's why you need to keep him out of office, or worse, if he does get into office, cancel his U.S. citizenship and send his ass back to Uganda. Don't let him stay in there for a long period of time at City Hall, because nobody wants him there, except these little crazy people. Like the other night or yesterday, they were going in Times Square and other areas protesting, and they were yelling F Charlie Kirk over and over again. There's videos of that. I think Freedom Television was showing it, and some others. You had to check on X, but it was pretty bad. And some of them weren't even fighting each other. These are going to be Zohran's foot soldiers if he becomes the next mayor of New York City. That is why you need to vote for someone like Curtis Sliwa. Because I don't have confidence in Eric Adams. I don't have confidence in Andrew Cuomo. If I was still in New York, I would be knocking on doors or doing whatever I can. I left New York in 2019. Before all the craziness is happening in New York City. I still have New York City stuff on me. Like this, the parachute ride at Coney Island. It's still there, but you can't ride it because it's, well, safety reasons. Meanwhile, Zohran Mamdani wants to violate federal law. He doesn't want ICE to arrest illegal immigrants who are committing crimes. Yeah, he wants to arrest Prime Minister Netanyahu. The only time he would come to New York City if the United Nations had an event. I mean, it could happen next year. He could be doing that. And then you might have a confrontation between him and the federal government. You know, if they arrest Netanyahu, which is not part of his duties, you might have the military coming knocking on the door in New York City. What are you going to do then? You know, the guy shouldn't be allowed to be mayor. You have to do whatever you can to make sure he doesn't get to become mayor. And if he does become mayor, you're going to have to terminate his citizenship and send his ass back to Uganda. I mean, even throw him into Alcatraz for a while and then zoom. That's it. I don't care. Throw his ass out of the country. If he becomes mayor, don't let him stay there for long. And Kathy Hochul is also supporting him. Then they're trying to get Chuck Schumer to support him. He's resisting. And then you got Jewish people who are supporting this idiot. Then, you know, they're complaining about the protest, the pro-Palestine Gaza people, but you're supporting Zohran Mamdani. I mean, what the hell are you doing? So, you see now, Zohran Mamdani does not want you to have free speech either. He will try to block you from speaking if you're not speaking his agenda, his narrative, Democrat talking points. He'll use everything under the sun. If it's up to him, he might even call you late for dinner. So you don't get anything. No, New York, you got to get rid of this guy now. Not only to stop him from being mayor, get rid of him as Assemblyman too. No, you need to send him back to Uganda. I'm sorry. He should not be running for New York City mayor. That was a mistake. You got some crazy people who are supporting this guy. You got billionaires supporting this guy financially, even though he says he doesn't believe in billionaires, but yeah, he's getting support by some of them. I'm sure George Soros or Alex Soros is one of these idiots doing it, or two idiots. We just don't know who else is doing it. So it's Al Cain saying so long for now, and don't forget your stock.